Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the English podcast with Mandy and Mark. Today, we're going to be talking about something that affects us all, no matter where we are in the world: the weather. It's a great topic for English learners because it's something we talk about every day.
That's right, Mandy. Whether it's sunny, rainy, or just plain old cloudy, knowing how to talk about the weather can really help you improve your English skills. We'll be sharing some useful vocabulary and phrases, and by the end of this episode, you'll be able to chat about the weather with confidence.
Exactly. And don't forget to stick around until the end, where we'll have some fun exercises for you to practice what you've learned. Make sure to leave your answers in the comment section below. We love hearing from you. So, Mark, what's your favorite kind of weather? Personally, I love a sunny day, not too hot, just perfect for a walk in the park.
I'm with you on that one, Mandy. Sunny days are definitely the best. There's just something about the warm sunshine that makes me feel happy and energized. How about you? Do you have a least favorite type of weather?
I'd have to say I'm not a big fan of really windy days. Especially here, the wind can be so strong sometimes, it makes it hard to even walk down the street.
I can see why. Windy days can be a bit of a nuisance, especially if you're trying to go about your day. The good thing is, they're usually over pretty quickly.
That's true. Do you remember that huge thunderstorm we had last month? That was something else.
How could I forget? The thunder was so loud. It felt like it was shaking the whole house. It was actually pretty exciting, though, wasn't it?
It was definitely an experience. I was a little scared at first, but it was amazing to see the power of nature like that.
I agree. Speaking of nature, have you noticed how much warmer it's been lately? It feels like spring is arriving earlier each year.
I have. It's a little worrying, to be honest. Climate change is a real issue, and we all need to do our part to protect the planet.
Absolutely. Small changes can make a big difference, like using less energy, recycling more, and choosing sustainable products.
Exactly. We can all make a difference. But anyway, back to the weather. What's the weather usually like where you're from?
Well, I'm from California, so we're pretty lucky to have mostly sunny days. It does get quite hot in the summer, though, sometimes over 100 degrees Fahrenheit.
Wow, that's hot. It must be nice to live somewhere with so much sunshine, though. We get a lot of rain here, especially in the winter.
Rain can be nice too, as long as it's not too heavy. It's actually quite cozy to be inside with a good book while it's raining outside.
I completely agree. Have you ever experienced snow, Mark?
I have. I went skiing in the mountains a few years ago, and it was amazing. It was so beautiful to see everything covered in white. Have you ever seen snow?
I haven't, unfortunately. It doesn't snow very often here, but I'd love to see it someday. It looks so magical in pictures.
Well, maybe we can plan a trip sometime. It's definitely an experience everyone should have at least once.
That would be amazing. I'll hold you to that.
All right, everyone, let's dive into some of the vocabulary we used while discussing the weather. Grab your notebooks and jot down these helpful terms. Mandy, why don't you start us off with the first word?
Great idea, Mark. Our first word is sunny, which means having a lot of sunshine. For example, it was a beautiful, sunny day, perfect for a picnic in the park.
Next up, we have cloudy, which describes a day with lots of clouds in the sky, often blocking the sun. You might say, the forecast for tomorrow is cloudy with a chance of rain.
If it's windy, that means the wind is strong, perhaps making it hard to control your umbrella or walk in a straight line. For example, it was so windy today that my hat blew off.
We also talked about thunderstorms, which are storms with thunder and lightning. They can be a bit frightening, especially if you're caught outside. You could say, the thunderstorm last night knocked down a tree in our neighborhood.
Climate change refers to the long-term changes in global temperatures and weather patterns. For example, climate change is a serious issue that requires global action.
Sustainable describes something that can continue for a long time without harming the environment. You might say, we need to find more sustainable ways to produce energy.
Degrees Fahrenheit is how we measure temperature in some countries, like the United States. For instance, it's expected to reach 90 degrees Fahrenheit today, so make sure to stay hydrated.
And lastly, we have cozy, which describes a feeling of warmth and comfort, often associated with being inside on a cold or rainy day. You might say, it was so cozy sitting by the fire with a cup of hot chocolate while the rain poured outside.
Now, let's move on to some exercises to test your understanding. Don't forget to share your answers in the comments below. We love to see your progress. Mark, would you like to start with the first question?
You bet. Here's an easy one to get us started. What kind of weather does Mandy love?
Next up, what was so loud during the thunderstorm?
Good one. Now for this one. What does Mark say is a serious issue that needs our attention?
Great question, Mark. And for the final question today, where is Mark from? A place known for its sunny weather?
That's all the time we have for today's episode about the weather. We hope you found it helpful and learned some new vocabulary and phrases.
Remember, talking about the weather is a great way to start practicing your English in everyday conversations. Don't be afraid to use the words and phrases we discussed today. That's it for today's episode of the English Podcast with Mandy and Mark. Thank you so much for joining us. If you enjoyed this episode, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more English learning content. And don't forget to leave us a comment below. We love hearing from you. See you in the next episode.